Thank you very much, guys. Great to be with the Staten Island Democratic Association once again. I remember last year was a big year, the golden anniversary. Well, it turns out 51 is not too bad either. And I congratulate you on another great annual event. This association has always been the progressive voice here on the island, and its voice is heard across New York City as well, and I have always been proud to be a part of the meetings. In fact, I had a great time when I spoke at the monthly meeting just a couple of months, actually, I think it was back in June, and there were a lot of issues that we talked about, rightfully so, because there are lots of issues facing our great city. The issues of the economy, I think, being at the forefront of so many people's minds nowadays. Economy in the national scene as being debated by our presidential candidates. One presenting a vision for a stronger economy, a shared prosperity for everyone, and the other candidate presenting, oh Lord knows what he's presenting, but we have some very clear choices in November, and I know that the members of SIDA will do it all of your best to not only get the vote out here, but to get on the phones and, if at all possible, get on buses to some of the other states where there are swing votes and persuade them that President Barack Obama needs another 4 years to finish his work in the White House. And as tough as those issues may be on the national scene, many of those issues are even more pronounced in the city of New York. This widening wealth gap, a concentration of resources and income among a relative few. You look at the news article this morning that again talked about the concentration of wealth and how in the long term it becomes unproductive for society as a whole. So we've got a lot of issues to work on here in the city as well. I just put out a report that talked about how the expensive rents all throughout New York City, but in particular on Staten Island, are starting to squeeze out the middle class. Rents have always been expensive in the city of New York. In fact, from 1980 to about 2000, about roughly 40% of the households in New York City lived in unaffordable apartments. In the last 10 years, that has sharply increased to about 49%. That's a problem that we really have to put our heads to. And I know with some of the reforms that can be enacted in fiscal policy and tax policy, we can start turning the tide back on this widening wealth gap. And as we head into an economic recovery, have some level of shared prosperity for everyone. In any event, enjoy the dinner. Congratulations to our great honorees. Thank you, Dennis, for your leadership. Thank you, Chairman Galino, for attending tonight. Thank you, Tom DiNapoli, for being a good mentor and fellow Comptroller. And always wonderful to see our great council member, Debbie Rose. Keep up the great work, SIDA. Thank you very much.